Good afternoon or good evening, folks, and welcome to my video. This is BSR 101. It's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to strip and I'm going to rebuild this BSR in front of you. Get everything, make sure everything's working. Oh. Usually I'll turn the thing on, doesn't it? There we go. So we've got the camera all this sorted out, so I can move you about remotely, sort of. Have we got a look at that? So, you know, no excuse for nothing being in shot really, have I? Anyway, put that there for now because I don't need that yet. Right, so basically, this is, as I say, this is titled BSR 101. And it's going to be, probably going to be a two-parter where you see me take the BSR apart and clean everything, reassemble everything, and put it all back. Well, strip it, clean it, lubricate it, reassemble it. Basically, I've got the service manual here, and this is the service manual for this exact deck. The only difference is the tone arm on this one is a bit wider, and the model number on here is C41R1. Now I expect the R1 to be different. No, it's a CR. It's a C. No, it's a C1R1. Sorry, a C14. C14 R1. It's exactly the same. This is a 240 volt version I've got. You chaps in America will have the 110. This manual was distributed in America, although the machines were clearly made in Britain. And I've printed the manual off so I can go through some of the technical terms and we can get the terminology correct, and I'm going to lay to rest what people call this, what people call this. I'm going to lay to rest what people even call this. I'm going to lay to rest everything in this one video, and this is the final video that I'm ever going to make on a BSR. I will be doing a similar one on a Garrard the next time I get a Garrard SP25 or any other Garrard modelling, because they're all basically the same idea. Let's get without further ado, let's get the screwdriver and get it apart. I will explain the procedure as best I can, and we've got some hooking tools there just in case we need them. Screwdrivers of varying length. I wish I was like Jay from Jay's Vintage Junk, you know. He seems to have one screwdriver that fits everything. You know, with the odd exception, his that little yellow screwdriver he uses, it's like the one I've got here, only mine's missing the bits. They are about somewhere. I think they fell out into the drawer. But, you know, you only ever seem to use the same one. Anyway, without further ado, and, oh, by the way, enjoying your Amstrad PCW video, by the way, Jay, if you watch this. And I enjoyed watching the video you made of all the junk that you bought, all that eBay stuff that you got, to increase the empire of the Jay's Vintage Junk. I thought that was a very good video, and quite a lot of nice stuff in there as well. Now the first thing I always do, and I'm going to do it with this, oh look at that. But I know this cartridge in here is a good cartridge because I put it in. So I know the cartridge is good. It's a sonotone cartridge in this arm. There we go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the cartridge out and I'm going to store that in a safe place. It does need a new stylus, I think, but I don't want to damage the cartridge because it's a good one. And there's nothing, it's not gone hard or anything. It's a good cartridge, so I'm going to store that up there out of the way so it's safe. That's safe there now. Right, basically what I'm going to do, we've got the manual here for the deck, and basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to start taking this machine apart. I'm not going to go to the trouble, I'm not going to go to the bother of taking the cartridge holder out. I'm not going to be that pathetic, but I am going to take, I'm going to remove everything apart from the transit screw. I shouldn't have to remove those either. I'm going to remove everything except the transit screws. I'm going to start on the underneath. Where's the tone arm wires? There's the tone arm wires, and they've all come off there anyway, so I'm going to start by removing that little tag board, and everything is going into everything I'm going to put into the centre of the turntable. Bits from this side will go in this side, in the middle, and bits from here will go in here, and the bits from underneath will go in here. And I'm going to wash the entire mechanism, and I'm going to see to it that this, when it's done, works as good as it did when it left a BSR. Now we've left a tag on there, we need to get that off. I'm not going to mess about with the soldering iron to get these off because there's plenty of wire, so I can re-splice them. And there we go. Now, I don't know if I can leave that rubber on, I'm not sure, we'll find out, because they can be a bastard to feed back through. So we're going to start off, and we're going to remove, that screwdriver's bent. We're going to start off, and we're going to remove our cycling gear. And there we go. This is all nice, and feels a bit on the stiff side, but the rest of it feels okay. Remove the ball race and the thrust washers. And you're going to see me reassemble this. There's a rubber down there which might have to stay in place. It depends on whether it comes out easy enough. If I can get it out, I will. If I can, I'd like to get it out, but if I can't, it'll have to stay there. But I think it will come out because I want to clean under it. There we are. There we are. And no wonder this thing rumbles, it's got hard grease under there. Right, idler. Right, I hope you can all see what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep everything in shots. Fibre washer and the idler. Somebody's decided to play some loud music at this time of the night. Isn't it amazing, eh? You always get some inconsiderate fucker, don't you? We want the spring unhooked from here. There we go. And that's what you have the hooking tools for. And get the spring off. That has never seen an adjustment. Let's try and straighten this screwdriver because it's bent and I can't adjust anything with it like that. There we go. Going to be 2-part video this, but I might stop in between for things like the tea and stuff, so, but it'll all be joined together. There we go. There are probably those that say, well, you don't have to take that out. Actually, I don't, but I want to. Because I want to show you all the adjustments. Okay, now that's stiff as fuck. That's supposed to be though. That screwdriver's snapped. What's this one here? There's one. Oh, that's better. Oh yeah. And that should now let me pull it out. There we go. The screw can stay in. No, I may as well take it out. It's fucking out anyway, isn't it? There we go. That's the screw. The motor. These rubbers, I think they're a bit perish because I noticed when I tried this with a record on it, was a bit of rumble. But we'll see. We're going to do our best. Now, there we go. What I'll do now, I will needs a good wash this. I mean, it's fairly clean, but definitely needs my attention. Now, I printed the manual out so that if I get stuck, then at least I can put the fucking thing back together. And we take all the electrics off and there as well. Take a little piece of card out, put that there with that one. Now, can we get the control arm off? Yeah, we can. You have to be careful removing these, because removing these control arms, the spring can go boing and they go everywhere, and that needs a clean. That feels manky as fuck. There's hairs and everything in it. Ugh. Yuck. Ew. Look at that. Ugh. Big fucking red hair. Right, well that doesn't pull out of there. I expected it to, but it doesn't. So what we need to do is remove on this particular one. They're not all like this. Not all of them have this on the top. This one does. Not all of them have this screw on the top. Remember folks, this turntable, this mechanism, there we go. This mechanism, ew, that's manky as fuck. This mechanism was available in different variants. It was available originally with a 16 RPM speed. The 16 RPM speed was omitted in the mid-70s. It was deleted in the 70s. The 16 RPM was got rid of, and that only left us. Let's remove the tone arm. Where that only left us with that left us with 33, 45 and 78. Right, now, is that going to come through there? Or am I just talking bollocks? Because I don't really want to have to feed that through because they're a bastard to feed back through, so I'd rather just pass this through here if I can. Do I have the ability to get this out, or am I just jerking off? No, it would appear I'm not just jerking off. There we go. Yeah. There we go, and that's all going to get cleaned. I'm not taking the tone arm wires out of the arm, I'm not going to go that far. Now, next one is to hold this here. Can you all see what I'm doing? Remember folks, if you want to watch a fucking video on a turntable being fucking stripped, watch this one, because after this there won't be another. There we go. This is the last one I'm ever doing on a BSR. Well, a BSR, one of these BSRs anyway. I might do one on a Monarch. If I can get a Monarch in, I might do one on a Monarch, because they are slightly different. So I might do one on a Monarch, but shit, that fucking hurt. Let's try it with they normally you don't normally have any trouble getting them undone. There we go. The plier slipped off and nipped my skin. Oh, it hurt, that did. Come on, you fucker, I've just undone you, should be loose. There we go. See, it's all manked up and gummed up and needs to be done. There we go. But everything's coming off. It's all going to get cleaned. Lift the arm gimbal off. Now, I think I'm now ready to start winding out the screws. Oops, start winding out these screws. Oops, hang on, almost forgot. Just take the anti-skate off, because that comes off. And you've got to be careful, the screw flat, the spring flies out. The knob's just, oh shit, I've stretched the spring. The knob's just fell onto somewhere down here. There it is. There's the knob. Now let's undo that, leave the, put that there. Take the spring out of, the spring has to come out of there, there we go. Ooh, all needs to go clean. Right. Now we can finish removing the screws. So what I'm going to do, that one there doesn't have to come out because it's only a retainer. Now, what the fuck's this here? Oh, we've got a big fucking spring there, I don't know what that's off. There's no grease or shite on it. And it's... Oh, I know what it's off. I know what it's off, folks. Good job I fucking remembered, innit? It's off the anti-skate. came off and went under there. Right, so now this should lift out. If I've got all the screws, which I have. There we go. Now that's your mechanism. Now these screws are all the same. That's the thing I love about BSR. All the screws were the same. There was, well, more or less, apart from the ones that hold the controls on, they were slightly different. They're a bit smaller, but you can't get them mixed up. So you just throw them into the pot with the rest of them. Right. Some of you may get bored watching this. Some of you may not get bored watching this. But in all honesty, if you don't watch it, you won't know how to do it, will you? Unless you were an engineer when these things were new. And you knew how to do it then. And you're all sat there wondering, aren't you? You know, I'm left with a turntable platter there full of bits. Will I be able to reassemble it? Bet your sweet butty I'll be able to fucking assemble it. Right. I might need to refer to the manual, which is one of the reasons for printing it. But I want to check this armrest clip out as well. And the reason why I want to check that out is because because it doesn't spring out like it should, and I know why, because the fucking springy thing's missing. It should have a springy thing in there and it's missing. So at least that I know. So try and make one. See if I can find a piece of spring copper. And that belongs to the armrest. It's a longer screw than the rest of them. Now that's the control panel. Now the speed selector knob. Right. Let's have a look where we're going here now. Yeah, that feels manky as fuck. I'll tell you what. It's a good job I'm giving this some attention, isn't it? I mean, it's greased under there, but it shouldn't be have that much on it, surely. And it feels manky. Right, so we've got a spring there, so we need to just pull this out. There we go. And remember, it goes to the second hole. I need to remember that, which I won't forget because it's on video, which is the purpose for making the video, one of the purposes anyway. Now, one last screw. What I might do, you know, before I put this together, I might try and get a tin of spray and spray the fucker, because it's a bit manky. Could do with being fucking sanded down really and repainted. See if we can get some spray, maybe give it a coat. Now what I need to do, because these don't have a gap in them for you, so there you go. And then all you do, you get your little puller, your little hook, you hook it off. There we go. And that's that, and that now comes off there. Oops, don't want to drop the components. There we go. Oh, put that there a minute. Managed to catch you with my fat belly. There we go. And this This does actually unclip. Now, that there, ooh, look at all that fucking nastiness. There we go. There we go, folks. The BSR base plate stripped. That's ready to be washed, so we'll put that down there out of the way. Now, let's look at the mechanism. Now this is where you need to be careful, because you need to, and plus this is another reason why you need the manual. I mean, I've done these for years. I can do these with my fucking head, with my eyes closed. Saying that, we'll start with taking that spring off, and the parts for this I'm just going to put in front of me here. Now, we want to start with taking clips out. I'm sorry if you can't see all this, but I think you can actually. Oops, that has to come out. And then keeping all this pretty much together as it comes apart. That way you have a better reference of putting it together. Because remember, you're taking very, very small parts off it in some cases on this. Now what we do now, we lift. What we do, we lift the push pad. In fact, what we might have to do is release this spring here. You can sometimes get them with that spring on, but leave that on, but sometimes you can't. Oh no, you can't, you've got to get it off. There's a clip under there. There we go. There's the spring, and there's the other clip. Now, so we have to remember that 2 clips go on there, so we'll keep them with them springs there, you see, and keep them bits there separate. We know then, we've got an idea of how we're going to do this. And then what we do then, we gently lift the push pad. There we go, and there's our push pad. That's all manking. Look at all this shite on it here, look at that. That's all going to get cleaned. And now we've got there's a spring there, which I thought there was. Turn that, and then that releases that, and there we go. Now get the spring off. We don't want to leave the spring on where we know to run the risk it's going to fall out. We know it'll fall out, so even if I'm having trouble getting it out now and I think it won't go, it will, it'll fall out. There we go. Keep that with that. Keep all associated parts together, you see, when you're doing this. Now, the most critical is this here. This is your what do they call it in the manual? Let's be correct about this. Begins with a T. Can't fucking remember. Velocity trip. That's what they call it. They call it the velocity trip. That's the velocity trip. As the tone arm moves in, it moves that to the centre, which pushes on the pole that everybody lubricates, and you shouldn't. It pushes on the pole of the turntable of the pole of the drive gear. Now whatever you do, don't lose that little clip or anything. And there's a little ball bearing in here as well. It's going to fall out as soon as I lift this up. Now you don't want to lose that little white spacer either. And there we go, just certain you twist that so it comes out that gap there. Now what you do, you put that back to put the clip for that back with that. And the little ball bearing you put with that as well, so you don't lose it. Now at this point, that feels stiff, but it's supposed to, I think. Now at this point I'm going to remove the tone arm bearing and mount. I think this removes it, it should do. We'll take this little cast block off here. I've undone the screw. I mean, the screw's wobbling around like there's no tomorrow. It's well and truly undone. So there we go. Now this. Oh, hang on. There we go. See, it all needs a cleaning. This. It's all manky as fuck. And the reason why I use the little tools, with the hooks on, is because it's easy to get. It's easier to get these little clips off. I mean, this is manky as hell. This is gonna need a really good thorough clean, and that should now pull out of there. Oof, that's dirty as fuck. Look at it. There we go. And now that comes out of there then as a unit. That'll be cleaned and re-greased and anything else it may need. Now that there is what the control arm is when it gets to the end of a record, tell it to switch off. Now there are some of these things that you can't get off, because you can't get that off there, because you take that off you won't get it back on. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to take this clip off and get it off, just jiggle it through, just jiggle it round. If I can't, then it'll have to just be. There's a clip. Now let's lift this up and see if we can just jiggle this around this to get it off. If I can't, it'll have to stay on. I'll have to work around it, but I would like to get it all off. But that there should really have been a circlip and not what they've put on. But they've put that on because they thought that's what it's, well, that's what they've decided to do. And you can't, I don't think you can, no. Oh, it does come off. So I can get the bastard back on. There we go. Might take some doing getting that back on, but I think it will. Now let's get the spring. I'm sorry I'm facing away from you when I'm doing this, but there we go. That's that part off. Yeah. And where do I get the feeling that's really stiff and going to go boing? well, it's not really, they're just covered in shit. There we go. That's it. Actually got fucking oxidisation on that bastard. So it's got to be cleaned. The state of that now, that's got to come off there. It's a bit fucking stiff, that bastard. I think it's supposed to be. Let's get the fibre washer off. There we go. That'll all be cleaned. And where there's a fibre washer, there ain't supposed to be any lubrication, and there is. And that spring has to come out. There's not supposed to be any lubrication in there, and there's grease under it, I can feel it. So now let's get on to whoops, that nearly flew away, but we got it. There's two clips there. Yeah, there's two clips there, so I must remember that. That's held in with two clips. There should be a spring, which is a captive spring, and that does not come out. This comes off there. And that's your other spring, auto. That returns the auto return switch with lever when you pull it back, otherwise it won't come back, it pushes it back. Let's get the other clip off there. Now this is going to be, there we go, come on, come out, there we go, and that's another very, very thin metal washer. And there we go. And I don't think this foot, does this come off? Yeah, I think it does. But be careful, the clip could take flying lessons because it's on a fucking spring. There we go. And that's that. Now, do we have another clip on there? No. Does that come off? It's clipped down, so I can't see why it's. Can't see why it won't come off. There we go. Lift that speed changer out. Now, there we go, folks. One BSR. Model C141R1 stripped completely, and this is going to get cleaned, re-lubed, re-put back together, and there's the base plate. There you go, all done, all taken apart. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to have a brew, and I want to make a phone call. So while I make a phone call, I'm going to ring my mate, see if he's got any black spray paint, and if he has, I'm going to ask him if I can have some, and I'll give it a spray, because I'm not going to put it back together until it's been painted, because I'd like to paint it. I mean, I've taken the transit screws out to paint it, but in fact, actually, for completeness, let's take them out. For completeness, let's take them out, because I'm going to paint this anyway. So they need to come out. Clip, because this is going to get polished and it's going to get rubbed down slightly, and then it's going to get painted. You only give them one, really give them one blast of paint. The reason why you do that is because there's parts that fit close, and You don't paint obstructing any of it. So that's why you only give them one coat of paint. There we go. For completeness, now nobody can argue about that, can they? You know, that about that being stripped. I mean, that's as stripped as bare as you can get. Anyway, I'm going to give my mate a ring, make myself a brew, and then I'm going to leave it until I get some paint. I'm going to repaint the deck. May as well do a nice job of it. And it'll all be reassembled and put back together and work like new. This is part 1, folks. Thanks for watching. See you in part 2 when we do the reassembly.